Coach Code is really all about, right things, right order, creating a high level of awareness and, being able to put the things in the order of where we're at, and also help us identify kind of where our business is either starting to stall out, or potentially, if we're not careful, could lead into the downslide, into failure. Really, trying to give you guys an awareness, as well as a specific deeper focus and deep dive around what we've identified or been able to identify through my training programs that I've been a part of. As really there's 8 key areas, and that's really what understanding kind of the exponential growth strategy is all about. It's what Accelerator is about, and really how everything ties into the Coach Code sequence. So we're going to keep the train rolling. We're going to keep focusing here as we're into the month of April. And as you guys know, each month we dive deep on a specific area around one of those 8 key things that tends to stall us out, or could potentially, put us running flat into the wall. We did kick off things, our Accelerator program in February. We went high level. We went vision. And when you look at how that helps us really get clear, it's lack of clarity is one of the key failures. Where businesses get stuck and fail is a lack of clarity. But also, and I think we'll talk about this in the future a lot deeper, but it's a concept of impact alignment. And another place where our business gets stuck and fail is that we don't align our goals personally to the vision that we have for our organization. So I've heard it over and over, hey, I want to be number one in my market. Okay, does your life align to that? Are you willing to sacrifice and align your happiness within the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, your health, wealth, and relationships? Are they aligned to what you have as the vision for your life and the vision for your business? And so we just want to make sure that impact, that alignment is there. So we touched on that, kicking things off in February. Last month was all about people, and our job as leaders is around culture. And all really culture is just a collection of our people. So making sure that we're collecting the people that we need and putting the best team on the field to execute on the plan within our current model in pursuit of the vision. Right things, right order. And so what I really want us to dive into, and this is one of the key areas where we get stuck as business owners, where our businesses get stuck and fail, is around strategy. So if you have not really gotten clear on the overall strategy that you have for your business, then hopefully you will have a ton of awareness and a sense of clarity on where you need to focus for the rest of this quarter. That's moving you into halftime. I'm sorry for this, my ATL fans out there, but I always have a hold steady through the second quarter, and let's get to halftime. 28-3. It's one of the greatest. I mean, you can't. If somebody would have written a movie about that, you can't make that up, right? And so, hold steady where you're at, and get into halftime. And then, sorry, I got a lot of love for the peeps in the ATL, but then I put some salt on the wound every time I bring that up. But I just want you guys to, hey, let's get to halftime. We get into halftime and we can make the adjustments that we need to for the second half to finish the year strong. When we talked a lot about vision, that was more, exit. That was more, legacy. That was more, big picture. That was freedom. One of the things that we talked about kitchen table, because kitchen table, there's something really special about that room. That room is in my mind, it was designed to be a strategic workshop. And what that means is that you're going to do some work. and everybody, that has ever had a seat at the kitchen table will tell you it's work. You're coming in, you're mentally exhausted. You are, really getting crystal clear. You're making great connections. And the one thing, and I got a lot of KT peeps on the call. Scotty came up to me. We had wrapped up Friday. We were grabbing some tacos, margaritas and tequilas, and all the good Mexican beer was flying. And he looked at me and he goes, I didn't realize I was the smallest fish in the room, but yet nobody ever made me feel that way. And I just had like the most warming feeling. And I was like, that's it. And so when you look at the coaching program, you look at Coach Code, you look at Accelerator, it doesn't matter what stage of the business you're in. And it doesn't matter what your big vision, your big definition of freedom is. Everything we talk about is principle driven. I had my kind of my brother-in-law come into the room for a little bit on Friday morning, and he had to get a short-term babysitter in the morning. And he's been in the food and service, the industry his whole life. And he came in there, and my man is on a mission to dominate the snow cone world. And he's got like the best tasting snow cones I've ever tasted in my life. And so he's got this just big goal, this big vision. And he sat in just for the session that we had Friday morning, and he was blown away. And, just that excitement, right? What we were talking about, a room full of residential real estate entrepreneurs. And you got this guy that's been in the food and beverage industry his whole life. That's about to dominate, the state fair, the summer event circuit with the freaking snow cone stand. And he's pumped of what we're talking about. And so I want you guys to feel the same way. It doesn't matter where you're at on the life cycle of the real estate, journey. And just know everything we talk about applies to whatever stage you're in, right? We all have to have a vision. We all have to have the right team around us. And we've got to have a good strategy. And I want you guys to think of, because sometimes when I say strategy, it just flies over everybody's head. Keep it simple. Keep it real simple. Think plan. Okay. Think plan. That's the easier thing to think about. And when you think about the plan, I want you guys to think about that where we fail or we get stuck is because we fail to choose or fail to execute upon the right plan. And so, like I said, keep it simple. I had an aha for us going through strategic planning just a couple weeks ago as we were doing our planning to go into Q2. And we brought Kristen on board to really get into that integrator, implementer, operational role. And a company up to probably 2-3 million in revenue, you can get away with somebody fractional in that role, meaning that's not their full-time gig. And so I had made the hire for Kristen in a fractional integrator role, and she came on board to help us in this entrepreneurial organizational system from Traction. If you guys do not have the book Traction by Gino Wickman, make sure you add that to your library. It's super, super important. Can you get away with bringing somebody like her on board? Well, yeah, we've gone 5 years without somebody like her. And before that, we had worked with Vern Harnish and Mastering the Rockefeller Habits. So we understood this at a high level. but I had really kind of struggled with identifying what in the hell should we be focused on. I think all of you probably give me a little amen on that as well, right? Sometimes we get a little confused of what do I need to say yes to? And we've always used priorities when we talk about kind of what we're going to give our attention to. And that's really through what Vern Harnish talks about in the Mastering the Rockefeller Habits. And when you get into traction, they call them rocks, right? So you got your rocks, your priorities, your key projects that are helping you solve the biggest problems, the biggest issues that you have in your business. And so when working with Kristen and we were going through this, isn't it funny? Sometimes we have to hear shit a dozen plus times before we finally get it. And I know I've heard this before. And she said, remember, your rocks are the things you work on when you work on your business. When you work in your business, those are the key functions and the key roles and the key KPIs, the drivers that drive your business forward. So you work in the business. And here's the thing, if you're on the org chart, you have a job and you're responsible to drive the business forward. So if you're on the org chart, you're head of company, you're greater role, you're head of sales, you're head of marketing, you're head of IT, you're head of operations, you're head of finance, you got a job. And you have key roles and you have key metrics that you're responsible for to drive your business forward. That's why I'm saying it doesn't freaking matter if we're selling snow cones, if we're selling residential real estate, or, we're in the health and fitness space. It doesn't matter. It all applies, guys. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you're at 200,000 in revenue or if you're at 200 million in revenue. It's all the same.